This latest proposal, backed by the cabinet, the now new cabinet of Theresa May, could the Labour Party ever get behind it?
Look, what we need to get behind is a negotiated deal with the European Union. We've set out our own view that we need a new customs union. What this proposes is a halfway house towards one. What we've said is we want a comprehensive, strong arrangement with the single market. This does not provide that. This does not talk about what is 80% of the UK's economy, services. And I think perhaps what it fails to realise is that when they're talking about negotiating new agreements around the world and the freedom to do those, if you are bound by the rule book on goods, if you are bound by that rule book, but you say, well, we can still have freedom in terms of services, if you're trying to export those services into a market which wants to export to you their goods, then actually there is a problem there because there's an asymmetry. So we have real issues with the way in which this deal has been put together really to try and create unity within the Conservative Party and not to look at what is in the best interests of our economy in the UK in a future relationship with the EU.
And meanwhile, Michel Barnier, who is the lead negotiator for the EU, has already come out sort of pouring cold water on what this current deal looks like, seemingly wanting the four freedoms to access the single market. If you want access, you've got to have freedom of people movement, of goods, of services and of capital. Any new customs arrangement, would you be able to satisfy all four?
Look, a customs union does not need to have that, and that's why we have proposed a new customs union. The single market is a different matter altogether, and the way in which many people have access into the European market, we need to make sure that we have a strong new free trade agreement with the European Union that gives us the maximum access. But the idea that customs arrangement determine that you have to be part of the four freedoms, I'm afraid is simply not the case, and Michel Barnier would never say that. I'm sorry that Michel Barnier has come out ahead of the negotiations and simply put a hand up and said, no, we don't like what the government has on offer, because that is not the way to negotiate. What we need to do is we need to get our country to the right place and the right agreement, because ultimately this is not about who resigns from the cabinet. Yeah. It's not about, who agrees with Theresa May domestically. It's actually about the jobs and the future livelihoods of people in this country. And that is what is at stake. And that is why this government has been so cavalier in its approach. We need to be talking about education. We need to be talking about building homes. We need to be talking about our health service, which is in crisis. And all of these things are on hold because we are just blighted by this nonsense, this internal fight amongst the Conservative Party.